really well with Jeremy, I thought. Yeah, he was good. We went for an hour and a half, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we should be live right now. I should probably start recording this, too. It's just for backup. You look great. Damn, this looks really cool, actually.
Oh,
There's
cool.
2 of us in different windows. We got like a little window with the comedy office live
Oh, nice.
in the middle. I like how I'm just commenting on like what we've accomplished so far. I think it's nice, though. Okay, so you were supposed to be here this morning talk about it would have been better that we had all 3 of us, I feel like.
Yeah, it would have been better.
Because it started off with us talking about Joker, and then it became literally about a half an hour to 45 minutes of us talking about incels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just about how we about what we know about them, what we wanted.
I don't know anything about incels.
That's what I'm saying. So you would have kept us on.
Been interesting.
You would have kept us on track though, and given us that non-incel opinion.
That's true. No, like an outsider's perspective.
Right. Exactly.
When
about
2 incels are talking. But you guys aren't. The thing is, you aren't incels. You're pretending.
We're not.
Or you're
we're
just
not even
obsessed
pretending.
for some
That's the
reason.
thing. That's what people mistake. It's like
No, you
just
have-
people
you have
think
like
just because you defend incels, you are one.
I
But
didn't
you're
even
not.
say you were
I'm not-
defending them. I feel like you just love studying incels.
Yeah. Well, I think.
Are you defending them?
I won't speak for Jeremy, but I'll definitely speak for myself. I'm defending of. Look, there obviously there's a few bad apples, and that's obviously a terrible situation. That you want to find those people and exercise them. But in general, like, yeah, no, there's like most incels, and I think like Jeremy and I agreed on this, was like the majority of them are just dudes who are unfortunately genetically like disabled to a point where it's almost impossible for them to find somebody who will have a meaningful relationship with them, especially when it leads to sexual intercourse.
That's a true incel, but it's subjective. Whatever an incel is, it is. How do you determine whether or not someone's being voluntarily or involuntarily celibate?
Because if someone is going out of their way to like fucking like trying like everything they can, I feel like if I'm,
I think people give up, and I think most people can get laid.
I think that's. I mean, you say that because both of us
You can get
are
laid.
decent
You
enough.
can get
Us,
laid.
both of us are decent enough to get laid. But think about a guy who's like got like, I don't know, some sort of like bone problem
Maybe
where
like
his bowed
a
legs.
serious mental disorder like the Joker.
Yeah, I
Is that
know.
what you're
Okay,
talking
so
about?
let's just get right into that though, because you definitely seem like you were. It was funny. Your text was like you were seriously disturbed by the movie.
I was.
Which makes me really wish I had seen it with you now, because I would love to see what your face looked like while you were.
I was nervous the whole time.
But not for a shooting. You were just nervous.
No, well, a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, towards the end I was like, oh fuck.
Which theater did you go to?
ArcLight.
ArcLight? Oh my god, that's like the safest fucking theater you could go to.
Yeah, I was
too.
in the Dome.
You were in the Dome. That's like the safe. I mean,
It's not that safe.
although if you wanted
Right
to
on
make
the
a
sidewalk.
splash as a shooter, I love how both podcasts me giving like tips on like how to really do this well.
Conduct the best.
Yeah, but if
movie
you
theater
seriously, if
shooting.
you want to make a splash, you would go to the Dome. The Dome's the perfect place to do it, because that's going to guarantee the most likeliness they'll make a movie about you. Because you know what I mean? Like if you want like documentary status, it's got to be a place that makes for a good.
That's
like,
the goal as a shooter, to get in a documentary.
Well, it seems like, okay, we argue that, like, if you take away the shooters' names, it's not going to make people want to do it as much. Like, there is a certain notoriety that people want from doing these shootings. Isn't there?
Yeah.
I feel like some people are definitely trying to, like, be seen or be remembered.
Well, let's try to help them.
Well, I'm helping them, but I'm also warning other people, like, hey, this is what you should be doing to make sure this doesn't happen. I don't know. That sounded terrible.
Yeah.
hey, this is a veiled threat. If you don't want this to happen, maybe you should listen to my podcast. What would you think about it?
The movie?
Yeah. What was your experience like?
It's a pretty well done film. I kind of wish someone other than Todd Phillips had directed it,
Like who?
like a real director.
What about it? Everyone's talking about how like Todd Phillips directing it kind of like took away from
He's
it.
the Hangover director.
But what does it matter what he's
Road
done?
Trip.
You don't think he did a
What
good
do you
enough
mean?
job?
Why does it matter what he's done? That's who you are as a director.
But you don't feel like the
Your
movie,
portfolio.
But you don't feel like the movie was outside of that. You don't
I
feel
think he kind of stepped outside of his comfort zone and did an okay job, but it could have been much, much better.
Like, wow, I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah, solid.
Like it was still better than a lot of like.
I think if Darren Aronofsky had done it, it would have been amazing.
Yes, I
If
would.
Paul Thomas Anderson had done it, it would have been amazing.
I think if Paul Thomas Anderson had done it, would have been mind-blowingly
Yes.
awesome, especially that movie where
and
it's like as
guys
violent.
I like Terrence Malick had done it, it would have been different.
Terrence Malick would have been
would
insane.
have been incredible.
Probably would have been boring for a lot of people though.
Yeah, I love that shit, but it would have been boring for a lot of people.
Yeah, I know,
I really
yeah,
do.
exactly.
Like
a lot
Terrence
of us
Malick.
have been like there was literally no violence.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly it's like 90% shots of the sky.
Right. And a guy just walking on the beach as a clown.
and most of it shot from behind him at an angle.
Yeah, right, with terrible
I
lighting.
would
kind of
that.
makes him into a silhouette.
Have you seen a lot of Terrence Malick
I've
stuff?
seen enough to understand that.
Have you seen Knight of Cups?
No, but I saw the
It's
trailer for it.
really
That's basically
good.
what we're riffing off.
Takes
of.
place in L.A.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sick of LA stories.
It's a good one though. I saw it before I moved here, so
really?
maybe I
I'll
would
check
be,
it out.
No, maybe if I saw it now, I wouldn't like it as much.
I'm
But
over.
most of it is
LA
shot
sucking some dick.
at an angle behind Christian Bale.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think
It's
I've seen the
pretty
movie.
cool.
I think I've seen the film.
Yeah. No. His movies are just like 2-hour trailers,
Yeah,
but they're beautiful.
I'm sure they are beautiful. I'm just like, I do like a little bit of.
It's barely a
narratives.
story.
I like there being something.
I don't even need narrative really.
So, did you like this movie, or did you just get?
I
freaked out
I
by
liked it.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, it's such an effective movie that I was terrified.
That's what's so funny is that you focus a lot, and a lot of people focus on this. They focus on like the whole. A lot of comics focus on the stand-up comedy of it all.
I know a comic who sounds exactly like that guy.
Does not sound like that guy.
Watch it again.
You should meet my mother.
She sounds like that guy?
She sounds like him. Like the Joker. She doesn't sound like Arthur. Well, she kind of sounds like Arthur too, but like she sounds a lot like the Joker.
Jesus.
Like the whole.
Now I know why you don't think the person I'm thinking of sounds like the Joker.
Well, also probably
Because your mom's doing an even better impression. Yeah, that's terrifying.
The way
that's really scary.
That was the most haunting thing for me was so many shots of how do you say his name? Joaquin
Phoenix?
Joaquin. I always say it's always Walk, but I always go with the
Joaquin.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. So many shots of him look like the way my mom looks when she's just kind of like in her own head, thinking to herself, like looking at things. And it was just horrifying. And then the Joker at the end of it, when he's talking to like Robert De Niro, we can spoil this by the way. We already spoiled in the last podcast, but it was just like that's how my mom does that thing with the names where she's saying Murray's name, but she's saying it all off like off key in a weird way. Like she'll do that.
Murray.
Yeah, Murray. Well, Murray.
That was really interesting.
It was very interesting, but it was also very familiar because my mom she'll meet somebody.
Okay, well, your take on this movie is gonna be quite a bit different than mine because the Joker is your mom.
Yeah, I know. It was very haunting how Todd Phillips tapped into something so real and so many.
I mean, I was gonna talk about how horrifying he is as a human being.
Well, you're focusing on the comic. Like, you're saying like a lot of comics remind you of him.
There are comics who have some similarities, similar traits, and I don't know. They might empathize with the Joker a fair amount.
I don't think anyone would empathize with that character, even the crazy ones, even the ones who are like him. I don't think they would see themselves in him. Like that's what was so weird. What you said on stage earlier, where you're just like, I wondered, am I the Joker? Like, there's no way you're the Joker.
No, I know, but
like,
I genuinely had that thought. Maybe I'm just that panic-stricken when it comes to.
Well, I think we all have those moments
like
and times where we wonder, like, am I really retarded? And no one's telling me because I can't figure that out.
Well, like I did this like important set last night, and I was questioning it the whole night afterwards. What I should have changed, that kind of thing.
Even though people were telling you it was a great set and you saved the show.
Yeah. Well, that happened today. Thank God. No one's like a couple people said good set afterwards, but you never know what anybody means.
No, I don't know anymore either. When people tell me I have a good set, I'm just like, thanks. I'm happy for a second. I'm just like, what the fuck do like? Are they? Who even knows what
the
they're after?
The only way you can feel good about a set is that they're like, well, everybody sucked, and then you went up and you were better. And even that
then,
might be
I have
a lie.
no idea if they're just turning around and saying it to the next person. I really like. I'm at a point now where I see so many people who are lying to each other and saying so much bullshit.
But the guy who you saw say that to me does not seem like a climber.
No, he's not.
He was being honest.
Right, he's being. I mean,
but in general, yeah.
But even then, like if he said it to me, I'd be like, who the fuck knows? Like when
that's always my attitude.
When it's you, you're just like, I don't know what. At this point, I'm only 2.5. Almost 3 years in, and I'm already starting to realize like I have no idea what anyone's after here. Like everyone's after something, and everyone's just saying something.
Yeah,
I've had comics sit next to me while someone's up on stage, and they just constantly talking shit about the person's act and how much they suck. And then after they were done, they went up to them and go like, "Hey, nice set. Just want you to know you did a great job." I'm just like, "What the fuck's going on here?" Like,
right.
So are we all supposed to just accept that we're all a bunch of liars who are just criticizing each other behind their backs?
It's tricky. I mean, that's why I think I might be the Joker because nobody's honest with anybody.
Yeah, but the thing about the Joker is, and that's what my point is, like, with the Joker, that's very obvious about this particular version, is he's not at all, like, he doesn't even doubt himself. He doesn't doubt his comedy at all. Like, I guess at the end, he kind of recognizes that people, he kind of recognizes at the end that, like,
at the end when he shoots the host, you don't think he was questioning himself a little bit?
No, if anything, Joaquin did a great job of showing a guy who's like a little bit unsure of what he's doing.
At the end, he said, "You had me on to laugh at me." He knows what's going on.
Well, he figured it out.
Yeah.
I think he might have figured it out in that moment.
No, I don't think so.
You think he knew deep down the whole time he was just lying to himself? He's just trying to
He couldn't stop laughing on stage.
Yeah, but they don't really do a good job of whether or not that's nervousness or just that it happens
Well,
frequently for
and
him.
thanks to fucking Todd Phillips, we don't really know what's going on in this movie.
Oh, I see. So that's I mean, you're right. The themes and the story.
Knowing what's actually happening and what isn't happening is not very well represented.
Did you see the girlfriend thing coming?
Yeah, well, the whole time I'm like, how is she taking him seriously?
Right, that's what I thought. Everyone apparently was like, I saw that coming a mile away. I was like, I'll be honest, like I see a lot of.
And I was like,
things
this
coming.
is a flaw in the film. How is she even dating this
Well,
guy?
I just figured because of my stupid like
She feels sorry for him.
I'm ahead of the film. No, I was even worse than that. I was like, oh, I get it. That's gonna be like the Harley Quinn version.
I don't even know what that is.
Harley Quinn in the comics is Joker's girlfriend. It's the one that Margot Robbie plays in the Suicide, who plays Joker's girlfriend. I thought they were gonna.
Does she start like a normal person and turn?
She starts
into
off as
Harley
a
Quinn?
therapist who falls in love with him.
Oh.
But I was like, I could see them being like, let's drop the therapist thing and just make it his like downstairs neighbor with a kid. Because here's the thing. You can say what you want. Like, obviously, he was imagining that, and that's kind of weird. But there are definitely women who are like just attracted to like danger.
Yeah, but they want like a guy on a motorcycle. They don't want a,
well, I don't know, but
an
maybe
emaciated,
I guess
ill clown.
the kid made me fall for it because it's like she's clearly stuck in certain spaces. Like she just goes to work, goes to school, pick up her kid, takes him home, and that's all she can afford to do. So she's just fallen in love
She
with
can do better than that. And I was like, well, they really.
You didn't see the rest of the people in that building. Who
my
knows?
thought was she really they fucked up the casting because she's very attractive, and if they'd made her ugly, kind of,
yeah.
it would have made more sense.
Well, that's just you being very, very judgmental of looks.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But in
no.
Hollywood, everybody's attractive.
Right. So I guess I kind of accepted it as just like.
Sure, you can accept that, but it would have been nice. I just want realistic casting. Cast somebody who's like kind of homely, and then you might believe it until the last minute, and it's going to hit you even harder.
Yeah, that is. I'll give you that. It probably would have felt a lot more grounded if she was like, there's something about her that just
she's like
seems
missing a
little-
tooth.
or just something that just made her look a little bit more like less like a girl who every guy would be trying to hit on.
Exactly. Bad
Especially,
hair.
Yeah. But I did fall for the idea that maybe she's just like, because she did a great job of playing her like, maybe she's just a girl who like likes saying twisted shit and doesn't realize he's not serious.
Yeah, it seemed like that initially.
Right. And then when they revealed it, I just thought it was a brilliant
I think
way.
he's a hero. Remember that?
Right, exactly. But she doesn't know it's him. So I'm like, okay, I get it. She's just saying it because she doesn't realize who she's standing next to.
The sense that I got was that she kind of knew.
Oh, really? Well, I mean, you would know if the night that your crush from down the hall came in with a joke with a clown face.
Yeah.
And fucked you like an animal. That clearly, like, he killed somebody last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the most confusing thing to me was the next day how, like, he's, like, leaving his job and everyone's talking about how they heard about this clown who killed 3 guys in a train. And they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, Arthur, so sorry you got fired for having a gun on you. That must be weird. And it's just like, okay, we're not making any kind of connection here whatsoever. Like, this doesn't seem at all like, oh, yeah, Arthur's really pissed off because he lost his job because that gun fell out of his pocket.
Yeah, it's bullshit. He was carrying a gun.
Yeah, no way he's connected to this other clown.
He's a great guy.
Well, they didn't think he was a great guy. They just felt like he was so harmless they didn't have to even worry about him.
That was a little odd.
It's just one of those things where I'm just like, and he also like breaks the fucking time punch machine. It's just like, this guy's clearly unhinged.
Yeah.
He probably murdered 3 people last night.
There are actually a lot of flaws in
There's a lot of comics. Here's the thing I'll agree with you.
There's a lot of comedians in the
There's a
film.
lot of comics. No, that's true too.
There's
There's a lot of
many
comics that
comedians.
we know that if I heard anything that looked remote, if I just heard some guy murdered 3 people on the train yesterday, and I saw the next day I went to Mike's, I'd be like, it could have been any of these guys.
There was a guy I used to host at Sal's who's a pedophile.
You know for a fact.
Yep.
And is he convicted? Or
Yeah.
he's
he's in the notary or whatever.
Oh, so he's a convicted. That's how you know, though.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like he. If you heard like some child got raped, it'd be like, oh right, and I know Ted. He really likes hanging around little girls. Like
No. He's a known pedophile.
right, well that happens.
Convicted.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was always a little weird.
Right, and that's the kind of person where if somebody heard the day before a child got molested, you'd be ridiculous not to assume he did it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense in Joker how everyone's just like, okay, I guess.
I don't know, it came out of nowhere. He killed everybody.
Well, just like I don't know who this clown is, even though my coworker who's a clown got fired the night it happened, and he got fired for carrying a gun.
Right.
It's just strange.
Right. Well, his employer was suspicious.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, I
That's
know
why he got fired. Or
no, he got fired for the gun.
in the
he got
hospital.
fired before he killed the guys.
No,
He got
that's true.
fired, and then he went and killed 3 people
No,
because
that's true. Well, those detectives were suspicious.
the detectives were no joke. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Which I thought was funny because I was so sure they're going to bring up like, by the way, when we picked up your mom from the apartment, we saw a bullet in the wall. 'Cause he shot these. There's just so many moments. I'm just like, there's so many like logical reasons why he would get caught immediately that aren't
Right.
happening.
Yeah, it's done by the guy who directed Road Trip and The Hangover. It's a
Okay,
flawed
I
film.
guess yeah. So I guess I mean that's fair. I
And
just
he
thought
wrote
it was
too.
He did.
Yeah, he wrote Road Trip
Oh, he wrote.
and The Joker.
Okay. Okay. Well, look, you got to let people. He might have
Get
written a lot of
started.
stuff on his own that never got published or produced.
Maybe.
That might be pretty
Yeah,
good.
That's a good point.
You shouldn't just assume just because someone works and everyone works their way
Well,
up.
now I know for
slowly.
a fact. I saw The Joker.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, well, hey, look, it's well shot though.
No. It's actually.
I will say this though.
it's a
I
good
just
movie.
but after Jeremy and I talked, I looked up some more clips and stuff like that, and I watched a clip explaining the dance scene that takes place in the bathroom.
Mhm.
And he tries to sell it as like an artistic choice, but it really just sounds like they couldn't think of what to do in the bathroom. So Joaquin started dancing. He's like, I guess that's what we're gonna film.
Yeah, it's a film where they kind of let Joaquin do whatever he wanted, and they fucked up some plot points, but it's beautiful. It looks beautiful.
It looks great.
Yeah.
And I do like Joaquin's fucking performance. And I really
He
wish
was great.
I wish honestly, I wish it had gotten to like the third act by the second act, and I wish we just see more of what Joker would do in a world.
Yeah, it was a little slow.
It was very slow, and you don't get a lot of Joker. Pretty much, I would almost argue that you see every
well,
scene that he's Joker in the trailer.
Here's my hypothesis. This is the first of 3 Joker movies they want to make, like the 3 Hangovers.
He swears that he does not have any interest in making a sequel, but I hear that all the time.
There's a definite sequel coming.
It felt that way. It
It's
felt
the
that way,
origin
right?
story.
It felt very much
Yeah,
like they're
yeah.
like, if
No,
this
it's like,
works,
that's
we'll
why you
definitely
picked
make a
Todd
sequel.
Phillips, because he had a successful franchise.
Did he do all 3 of those?
Yeah,
Oh, he did all 3.
as far as I know.
I don't know if he did.
But if he can get it started, he can do it. But you can look that up.
I guess Warner Bros. Doesn't really give a shit, honestly. It's like if Todd Phillips won't do it, we'll find someone else. We'll still make money. Like
Well,
people will go see the second Joker.
But they like Todd Phillips because Todd Phillips makes money. The Hangover made money.
Did Road Trip make money? I saw it on
No,
DVD
no.
later, way
It's
later.
The Hangover, 100%. They
Yeah.
wanted someone who can make 3 of the same film.
I guess.
And
Well,
make a lot of
I
money.
guess that's true. If anyone could make 3 of the exact
Successful
same
films.
film,
That's what he did.
Yeah. I don't know why everyone's being so hard on him though. I feel like it's just like
Because he's a little bitch compared to Terrence Malick, you know?
There was Terrence Malick up for the
No, of
for
course
the,
not.
yeah, exactly.
They
I don't
would
know.
never let
I don't think they
Terrence
were. I don't think they were ever talking to Terrence Malick or Quentin Tarantino.
You know, Christopher Nolan would never do it, but if he did it, it would have looked cool.
Yeah.
Looked just better, obviously.
Yeah, well, Nolan would never.
just does,
Well, he would have
war
been like,
films,
he would have
yeah.
been like, why would I can't hire Heath Ledger. And that's who I want to play the Joker. So
Yeah,
why are
that's
you
true.
hiring me again? Like I already did this.
Well, yeah.
I'm the reason you're
that's
making
true.
the prequel. You think I'm going to film it when
He
it's?
did a really good job, though.
I still think Heath Ledger's the best Joker we've had.
Well, and Nolan did a good job.
Nolan did an amazing job. That movie is a classic.
I agree. I think that's that's probably the best superhero movie as far as I'm concerned.
It's definitely one of like. I
Because
would
it
put-
feels like a real film. It's not
yeah, I'm
like
about to
some
say
Marvel bullshit.
it's a film, and that might be what makes the Joker at least as good as it is.
It's closer to a
is
real
that
film.
like the thing that makes these movies really good is
There's
when you
still
can
some
take
comic book
away the
bullshit.
that Bruce
this-
Wayne shit's very unnecessary
Yeah.
and like the killing
that's
thing.
the beginning of a 3-part.
No, I
film.
get, dude. Trust me. Honestly, what I left with this movie thinking to myself was like, I would love. It makes no sense that he's like in his mid-30s and Batman's like 6. But that being said, I would love to see a late 50s Joker with a cane tormenting this
Okay.
young 30-something-year-old Batman.
Todd Phillips directed and produced the first Hangover, wrote, directed, and produced the next 2.
Oh wow!
So the only one he didn't write was the first one.
Right.
And then he added, so he knows how to create the next iteration of a series.
I mean, I'm sure he's a writer. He's a stable writer.
I guarantee that's
Look,
why.
I said this
Who
earlier.
else has made a
I've
3-part
said-
series
I
recently?
said this earlier. Like I'm not going to deny that. Like you're absolutely right. The movie is not particularly imaginative. It's if anything, it's a great mashup of 3 other films. It's
Right.
Taxi Driver, The King of Comedy, and a little bit of Fight Club.
Not an original script to begin with. The Joker exists in pop
Right.
culture and
Right.
has for
Exactly.
a long time.
So he's got a bunch of like material to like.
He's
pull
working off
from.
of a million different things.
Right. Exactly.
And he got Robert De Niro, which is kind of a wink to
Right. No,
things there.
he's doing a lot of this like homaging shit.
Yeah.
But I think they do it in a really good good
No,
way.
it was good. It was good.
But what else was terrifying about it for you?
No, it's the fact that like
You feel like that.
someone
I just
the
don't-
idea. I don't know. Maybe it's just my own like pathology, my own
Yeah.
problem. The idea of a comic or even anyone. That's why I can't watch the Kings of Comedy, or whatever it's called, with Robert De Niro.
Okay.
The idea of a comic thinking that he's really good,
Yeah.
and then actually being horrible,
Yeah.
there's nothing more terrifying to me than that.
Right. Being that person.
Being the guy
Yes.
who thinks that they're on the right track, who, unbeknownst to them, is the worst comic ever.
Worst ever. That's narcissistic. No, it is, because like I said, once again, those people don't even think for a second that they're even that bad. So the fact that you're even stopping to reflect on how good am I means you'll never be that bad.
Sure.
But I do understand the whole phenomenon of like wondering, like, am I even good at all?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm definitely in that mode lately.
That's where this is all rooted. For some reason, that extreme example, like Joker, scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Here, make sure this cable's straight. Okay.
It's rooted in uncertainty, not knowing where your career is going to go and all that stuff.
I know, but my point is that what makes a Joker become what he is his inability to even like really stop and think for himself of like, okay, how awful am I? I guess his mom says you're not funny. Like, people are telling him you're not funny.
He should know. He just keeps going.
Yeah, I guess that's my point though. No one.
It's like to start out doing stand-up comedy at the very beginning.
Yeah.
You're horrible.
I don't know what's going on here. You want to try to like?
Is it not?
It's breaking up a little bit. Try pulling out, pulling back in.
Better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my point though. Is that like, I don't know, just like the fear to me is like, what if I look back and I realize like no one really was laughing, and I was just imagining that I was doing well.
Right.
But then the question is like, how did I get as far as I did? It's like, am I just is this my desperation? At what point do you drop that? Because we've read like that Tim
Jim
Dillon
Jeffries
post
has
recently.
a joke like that. It's not even a great joke, but like.
Why no? Jim Jeffries did it.
I think Jim Jeffries is funny.
No, he has a lot of good stuff.
I
I
think he's good.
just lately I can criticize him.
Yeah, sure. His first 3 specials were good.
Yeah.
He's funny. It's not good, but like, what if I'm just in a mental institute,
Right. It's that. Am I really
banging my head
retarded
against the
and
wall,
no
and
one's
I'm
told
like-
me? Yes.
I think that all of this is happening.
Right.
Because he's that successful.
There's that suggestion in Joker,
Right.
because they cut back at the beginning. They cut back to him just smacking his head against a window.
Right.
Because apparently he's been in an institution already before.
Right.
And the next time you see him is at the end where he's in the same
They didn't
institution.
do a good job laying the story out.
They're trying very hard to like do this like.
They wanted to look cool.
Well, and this whole like what's
flashback,
real and
what's
what
real, what
isn't, and because they really
It's
want
hard
to lean
pick
into
up on
they.
what's actually happening though.
Well, it's just like it's very easy to see. Okay, what is the strongest story that makes this like? What's the most likely real? Like, there's a lot of clues of what's most likely real,
right.
but they do want you to leave being like, is he imagining all of it? And he's just been in this asylum this whole time.
Yeah, I think that's a bad move. That doesn't help. The
That
story.
doesn't make sense. Just as far as a story to leave with, because then it makes because that's that whole it's
Also,
all a dream shit.
He's so much older than Bruce Wayne too.
What I'm saying, I would love to see a sequel where he's 60 and
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne's Batman at 30, and he's just this old guy who's like
That's
in the
what's
clown.
gonna happen.
That would be amazing. I would love to see old Joker tormenting 30-year-old Batman.
But that's a big shift in the storyline. Joaquin Phoenix is like 40 years old.
Right. I would love to see that. But that's what I'm saying. If we're doing different shit, I'd love to see different shit like that.
Like an elderly Joker.
Here's what I'm saying. If any elderly Joker could get away with it, it would be this Joker, because he's already such an invalid and so weak.
Right.
That his age doesn't matter. If he's 60, he's still just as dangerous, because all he is a guy who's willing to do anything he feels
Right.
like doing at any moment.
Joaquin Phoenix is so... Joaquin Penis?
Yeah, Joaquin Penis.
He's so perfect for that role.
Yeah, he totally is.
He looks like it already. He looks like the Joker already.
Well, he lost 50 pounds.
Yeah, he lost a bunch of weight.
And
no, but his face is structured perfectly for it.
Well, I wonder how much is it when you paint the face? Does it just look?
He's got like multiple rings on the side of the smile as it is.
I
He's got the
guess
long.
so.
He got the nose like a Joker's nose.
Yeah.
The smile turns up on its own.
Yeah, I
He
guess
kind of
so.
has the face already.
I suppose so. I don't know. I believe. I mean, it's just like, is that how they cast them? They just go like, whose
No,
face?
he's a great actor
Yeah.
and also happens to look perfect.
Who else would you want to see do Joker?
Mm.
So you have obviously other people you want to see make the movie.
I can't think of anybody else who'd be better than him.
There was apparently a rumor that back when Nolan was doing Dark Knight, he talked to Robin Williams to play Joker,
Mm.
and I've got to say I'm very fascinated to imagine what that would have looked like.
Could have been good.
Very different.
Yeah.
shorter, stouter.
Yeah, yeah, aesthetically different, but I think he would have done a good job.
Well, my biggest fear would have been a little bit like Nicholson, because it's just kind of like once again a wacky like I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like
No, it
you
would have
know,
been
yeah,
probably closer to
I'm
Nicholson.
just so hard to nail kind of Joker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where with Heath Ledger, you get that kind of like
No, it's human, and I think Joaquin Phoenix might have taken that even further because they spent so much time on him.
Well, Joaquin Phoenix made him like an anybody. Like the Joker and Heath Ledger's is like this is a clearly overly smart human being who went in the wrong direction.
That's true.
With Joaquin Phoenix, it really
Way
could
more
be
sympathetic. You feel sorry for him.
Which one?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, you feel sorry for him. You want to be the Joker who's in Dark Knight. You want to be that intelligent.
Yeah, he seems cool.
Right. He's charming and like
also crazy.
But he's just there's something about him that's like
he's a successful
magnetic.
villain. Yeah,
that's magnetic. He seems like a cool archetype to be.
No, Joaquin Phoenix doesn't even know what to make of the end of the movie.
Right.
When everybody's cheering around him.
Yeah,
he could never imagine that.
Well, that's what's so weird about like the outcome is like you realize that what he really did want was to have like people shower him with praise.
Yeah, kind of.
Like he says he doesn't care about a movement, but it's like you clearly care about some sort of acknowledgement.
He seems happy and surprised to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
What I thought was gonna happen when he came out of that car and he was moving his fingers near his lips was he was gonna realize that his cheeks had cut open. And he was
right. They never did that.
I thought they were gonna make him the Joker.
Yeah,
of Dark
yeah,
Knight.
me too.
Because it's like that.
I was wondering when that was gonna happen.
I was watching the movie. It wasn't until about the third act that I realized it was
the sequel.
They'll reveal.
Have him cut himself.
We'll have him. I would love to watch a fucking prequel to how that Joker came to be. And I guess I was expecting that because it was the Joker that made like Joker so popular,
right,
in our current culture. But I guess it was a smart move to be like, there's no way we'll ever live up to whatever story people can imagine for that. So let's just make our own Joker that kind of borrows from that Joker in some ways, but also takes from other Jokers and just makes it its own film.
I just want to see the sequel.
I want to see a Batman. I want to see a young Batman trying to figure out how to overcome this 60-year-old lunatic who just murders people willy-nilly and is like has this clown movement. That is also the reason why his parents died.
Right.
That was a bit hokey, though. I mean, I get how it falls.
How he was just standing there?
Well, just like how, like, oh, so once again, like, the reason why Bruce Wayne becomes Batman is because the Joker has something to do with his parents dying. Like, it's just always that intertwined. That's what I hate about Batman in general. This intertwined, like, so much of Batman stories nowadays is just like, look how connected they all are.
Right.
Like
but that's inherent to comic books, isn't it?
I think it's inherent to bad storytelling, and yeah, comic books
are bad stories.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I think it's inherent to the people who just think what makes a story really good is.
Well, it's got to be digestible. It's for 12-year-olds. It's a comic book.
Yeah, but like for me, it was really cool when I found like Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father. That was like a really cool like wow.
Yeah,
who would have thought?
That's an original story.
And also, but like what a coincidence.
Right.
But then when it's like, oh yeah, and he built C-3PO, and like everything that happens, everyone's related to each other, and everyone's dad and mom knew each other as well. It's just like, well, that's just fucking insane. Like,
right.
The world's a big place.
Well, they have to keep layering the story on top of itself. So they got to make it interesting. Everybody's related.
And people love the idea of like
so
being stuck on this like this loop of like wow, it's like it's almost the idea of destiny. It makes things feel like it's destiny.
Well,
it's like
true.
oh my god, we've known each other forever. It's always we're cosmically bounded. It's like why can't it just be like I knew a guy? It's like a criminal killed my parents, and now I want to stop all criminals, and now I know this Joker who's just like an insanely undefeatable criminal. It can't just be simple like you stand for everything that happened to my parents. It has to be this guy killed my parents. It's like get over it. Like well, that's not how it works.
Right. Have you read the Bible, like the whole Bible?
I have to. I only feel that way now that I'm a comic because so many comics make jokes about it. And I feel like I can't laugh because I really don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I have some references, but I've never read the whole thing.
Yeah.
I feel like comic books are not that dissimilar.
No, I mean, yeah. Especially nowadays.
There's some overlap.
Especially nowadays.
Complex comic books.
Entertainment's becoming its new Bibles. It's like, and that's why people get so caught up in the mythology and like the whole like, does the story make sense and does this fit in the universe? Is because these are their new religions. These are their new mythos that they're living by. So it's like if Iron Man does something they don't agree with, it's like, dude, I live by this. Captain America needs to be this fucking way. Otherwise, I can't believe in this religion.
Yeah. They changed the Jokers so much.
Did they though? That's
I
what
think
everyone
they
says
did.
that. Like, I mean, they took one very popular thing about him, which is that he's kind of like an evil genius, and he has like this kind of like.
But he doesn't seem like a genius.
This
seems
one
to be
is. That's what
happenstance.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They
okay.
took all that away and they made it more like he's kind of like this guy who like gets lucky. That's the best way I heard it was. He just
Well,
gets
who
lucky
has
a lot.
he's dealt a bad hand. He's not a lucky guy.
He's very he has a bad he's in
But
a
then
lucky
things
disposition, but things always work out for him that he doesn't die.
Yeah. That's lucky.
Right. And I mean, there's
They really. I mean, his story. I don't know if he's ever had a backstory.
he has. I mean, and tons of comics have tried to
Different
come up with stories.
backstories.
Well, the most popular one is the one that they borrow from, which is a Killing Joke, where it's like he was a failed comedian. I hate that backstory, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
What I liked about The Dark Knight was he didn't seem like he used to be a comedian. It seemed like he
failed
seemed
comedian.
It seemed like the clown thing came from more of a like just.
I've never read the comic books, but failed comedian didn't make any sense to me for the Joker.
Me neither.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it always.
Which
Just,
it's just
he seems
so
like a criminal mastermind guy who happens to be the Joker.
Right.
The same way the Penguin is the Penguin.
Right. Or
because he's a failed penguin.
Well, the original origin of the Joker is just he's some criminal who fell into a vat of chemicals
that
and
makes
ended up living.
sense.
And
that's
now
more
his
like a
skin's
comic
stained.
book. Yeah.
Yes, and he went deranged from it.
The failed comedian thing.
Then somebody I forget who it was. It was that guy who writes a lot of dark stories like Sin City or whatever. He wrote a take on the Joker where it's like we were trying to kind of humanize him, and he went with the most obvious route of like, well, he's a Joker because he was a failed comedian. No one would ever laugh, and now he laughs all the time. And you know what I mean? It's just like it's like that joke. It's like where it's just like, look who's laughing now.
Yeah.
And I was just when I read that, I was just like, that's the most boring route you could go because it's the most obvious route. It's the most obvious idea of like, oh right, no one laughs at him, but now he's always the one who's laughing. Like, I just found it to be so boring and pathetic. That's why when I saw The Dark Knight, I was like, oh, I like the idea that he was like some old military guy who just lost his mind and just had to like, he was like just realized he was a freak and probably just started like painting his face.
Right. That I don't know. That makes more sense.
It just. I don't know. All that on the note, even like Batman's origin being like he was a kid and he fell into a bat cave and now he's always had like a connection with bats. Like when you really think about that, the fact that he held on to that for so long that he just decided to become a bat.
Well,
as
none of them
adult.
they're never good. They're never that good.
But it was especially Batman. Superman makes sense.
What?
He was an alien. He was a Superman. So and the fucking logo on his chest apparently is a family like that was all added later. But my point is he had an S because it's like I'm a Superman.
He's from a different planet.
Right.
Yeah.
So he wears different clothes.
Yeah.
He doesn't go like, oh, I'm alien man.
Different abilities, different clothes.
Alien Adam or whatever. Like no, he's a fucking. He didn't even come up with his name. It's just what they came up with it for him. He was a Superman because he could fly, stop trains, run faster than a speeding bullet.
Yeah. It'd be cool if the Joker is a good film that like has the potential to be well done because it has a real like a darkness to it. Superman doesn't really have that.
Well, that's why I was really excited. Like, I mean, okay, when I first heard about the fucking prequel, I was like, this is just another cash-in. It's going to be terrible. And then when I saw more stuff about it and I heard the incel thing around it, I was like, this could be very fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. I was hoping that if they were going to do it right, they would make a very dark noir crime film. Like, that would be kind of like connected to the Joker from because the Joker from The Dark Knight does seem like a guy who would have a very seriously dark, twisted, like, origin. Where, like, I can see this decent guy and things just get so fucked up for him that he, like, loses, like, every loved one and his mind and just decides the whole world's fucking corrupt and becomes this sinister asshole. But instead, it's just like, oh, it's just some weirdo who, like, had an abusive mother. It's basically, what's his name from Psycho?
Patrick Bateman?
No, that's American Psycho.
American Psycho. Sorry,
but in
yeah,
Psycho,
sure,
it's like it's like the mother. He has a son, and he's like a lunatic because he's like so sheltered.
Yeah,
like that's basically what they went with.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And then she's delusional, and he's delusional.
And also, did you? I don't know about you, but like I thought there wasn't that much carnage for all the articles I saw talking about how there's so much. But how it glorifies
I didn't read
violence.
any of that stuff.
Oh yeah, I read so many things about how it glorifies violence. It makes like it could be like a rallying cry for incels. None of that stuff is in there. There's very little violence. The violence in it is unsettling because of
because there isn't that much. That's part
because there isn't that much. It's treated very
it's realistic.
It's treated very unglamorous, except that one. I feel like there was an intention. There was some sort of intention there. when he kills his fellow employee, the fat guy who gave him the gun,
Right.
because his blood glistens on his face, and I was like, that was a really weird decision, like to make the blood have this like shimmery look.
I thought
to
that
it.
was cool.
It was cool, but it was like, why would you do that? And I guess it's because if there was any kind of like sensational kill, it was that one.
Yeah.
That was the most. All the other ones are very cold. It's just a gun where he just like shoots you and they're dead.
Yeah.
But there wasn't that much gore. It wasn't gory. I wasn't like, oh god.
I wasn't even sure if the Robert De Niro thing happened.
I'm glad it did.
But I was like, as it was happening, I'm like, this has to be in his head.
I guess it could have been. He could have just shot himself in that moment. What we were seeing was his fantasy.
No. I don't think that happened.
No.
But a lot of it seemed like the dating the girl. He envisioned that. So why wouldn't he envision shooting the talk show host?
Well, the point that people made that says that like confirms the talk shows to hosting is true is they pull out from the video and you can see the
everybody's scrambling.
Right. So there's clearly some.
Well, and then he's got all these people in the street. But did that actually? If you start taking whole portions of the film and saying that it didn't happen, then you can question almost every
then
fucking
it
part
means
of
nothing.
Yes.
That's the problem. That's the whole
problem with these
Inception.
stupid M. Night Shyamalan movies. Where you're consistently pulling the rug out from under the storyline.
Well, I think if you do it right, it makes for a good film. I think Inception did that. But the problem is a lot of people get stuck on the whole. A lot of people aren't smart and they don't pay attention and they're not very good at just coming up to conclusions on their own.
Sure. No, I can do it. But you can create multiple storylines, and you're like, what does this person actually want?
Right. So for me, The Joker is a movie about a guy who is like mentally unstable, clown who wanted to entertain people but never could figure out how to like connect with them properly, and then just like snapped. Him killing his mother was a bit out of left field.
I thought that was cool.
You thought it was cool that he killed his mother?
Cool move in the plot, yeah.
No, that's a cool move in general. I thought he was going to say cool move in general.
Your mom's awesome.
I think it was a cool move. I was like, oh yeah, I feel you on that one, buddy.
Yeah, dope. I'm gonna do that later.
Yeah, you're the one writing it down.
Yeah.
That's scarier actually than somebody like clapping during the violence and someone writing down, taking notes with everything he does.
Well, and notes with like the photos that he has.
Right, I'm about to say
notes.
notes like that he takes, where it just says like
life will make more sense when I'm dead. They kept on going back to that.
Laugh whenever somebody.
There's just like a picture of a black child in his notebook.
There's a picture of a naked girl too.
Yeah,
I noticed, which I thought was a bit off. Like, I mean,
Weird.
it was a bit like, okay, is he a psycho or is he like
just really sad?
And I just don't. I don't know. There's just there. You're right. The more I talk to you, and the more I realize, Todd Phillips might be a little bit more sloppy in what
I think he was.
Yeah, because that is a very like.
There are a lot of unanswered questions.
But the unanswered questions, it's just not new. It's very obvious shorthand to be like, oh, he's got a journal with like pornography.
No, actually, that's the right way to describe it. It's shorthand. It's lazy.
Right. It's lazy writing to be like, oh, he's got a journal where he always scribbles.
It's like, we'll make some things confusing. We won't even fill in the blanks in some places, but everyone will think it's kind of fun. It's interesting as a film.
I guess I give it credit because it does a better job than a lot of films that do shit like that. There's a lot of films where I watch them and I'm like, you clearly just expect the audience to write the script for you.
Yeah, you're like, they'll figure it out. They know what we meant.
Or they're more like they'll write about it on Reddit. Who gives a shit? Like they'll just have theories upon theories and they'll make YouTube videos and we'll make money.
Reddit bait.
Right. I mean, that's what Star Wars does now. Star Wars just leaves tons of mysteries in every fucking movie for people to talk about because they know that everyone just gives a shit about like the conversation more than the film.
Yeah, I never considered that.
That's what the last two films were.
That makes sense.
It's just fucking mystery after mystery.
I haven't seen them either, but it makes sense they would do that.
Yeah. Well, because it's for some reason it's accepted as filmmaking. People love these movies. I mean, in a way, that's what made like the Marvel movies had that great ending to it. But in a way, what made them so successful was everyone's like, I want to see where it's going to go next. Right. It's just like they kept on making these films that would like allude to like, oh, something big's going to happen, but no one knew what. So now people would go watch the film, and then other people would go home and make YouTube videos about it, and people would watch the YouTube videos about it because they were anticipating the next one. And that was just and then fucking Disney makes a fucking boatload of money.
Right.
And people think they're being entertained.
It's genius. Well, yeah, just make the audience do all the work and they'll keep coming back.
Which is crazy to me. It's just like whenever I watch a film where I'm just like, you're expecting me to fill in the blanks, go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. Like, you write a full film.
Well, that's definitely the case with The Joker.
I think it does a better job of giving some solid, like I said, if you just assume that like there is a reality, he was imagining he was dating his girlfriend.
You get a general sense of what's going on, but they're leaving a lot to the imagination.
He's a nutcase who was abused by his mother, who could never connect with people despite the fact that he believed he was supposed to be enjoying the world. He never had any good thoughts. I thought it was a little weird when he says, like, I never have had a happy thought. He's like talking to therapists.
Seems
like,
happy to hang out with his mom.
Yeah, and also with the girlfriend. That was kind of a pleasant fantasy, wasn't it? Like, so if that's
it wasn't real, but he created a happy thought.
Yeah, but it was a pleasant thought. Like, you were actually happy when you thought about that shit.
Never have a happy thought. Maybe he thought that was a joke.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Right. And did you tell me as well? Did you like the joke he said on the live show? The knock knock joke. Did you think that was funny?
No.
Okay, yeah, neither did I. But apparently, Jeremy and also another comic I talked to at the Comedy Store thought that was a funny joke.
What?
I know, right? I was like,
no, they're fucking with you.
No, I think they genuinely think it's funny.
Like, what is? How could that be? It's barely even a joke.
I know it's such an obvious turn where it's just like it's not even funny because there's nothing like.
It doesn't make any sense.
And yet they thought it was a good joke.
I'm gonna kill myself.
No, his knock knock. His knock knock joke he says on the air is knock knock, and they go, "Who's there?" It's like, "It's the police. Your son died in a drunk driver accident." And I'm like, okay,
that's worse than just blowing your brains out.
Like blowing your brains out, brilliant. That's a fucking brilliant.
No. Well, then like knock knock, fake shoot yourself in the head.
Well, I think knock knock really shoot yourself in the head.
That'd be cool.
Some fucking showmanship right there.
Yeah, the thing with De Niro was good.
Niro's great. De Niro's great. I think even the girl who played the girlfriend did a great job with what little she had. The mom was solid, but nothing special.
Mom was fine. Yeah. Girlfriend was fine. They should have got an ugly girlfriend.
No, I agree with you that they should have had someone who was a little bit more homely.
Attainable.
Looking. Just someone who looks like they would be like a little desperate.
Maybe on drugs a little bit themselves, that kind of thing.
That's a bit over the top because then it becomes like, why is he into her?
No, that's not true. That would never be the case.
I guess that's the point he's trying to make, though, is he's a guy who's because I can relate to that. I guess
he's fantasizing.
I can relate to the whole like you see a beautiful girl, you have one interaction with her, and you imagine like this relationship you could have, but it never actually is fulfilled. And then you go.
But does it last that long?
And then you go in her apartment when she's not there because
you can relate to that.
Yeah, and you just sit down on her couch, and when she finally comes back and she's scared shit.
Now that you're describing it, I can relate to that.
You just gave her the one fucking interaction you ever shared with each other, which was shooting yourself in the head.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was intense. That was
relatable.
That is my favorite scene, aside from the television show. That's my favorite scene, just because like that probably happens.
What probably happens?
People probably have stalkers who like end up creeping into their fucking apartment.
Oh, yeah,
find them on their couch, and they're not gonna like necessarily harm them, but they're clearly like dangerous.
Well, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is almost innocent because he just hallucinated this whole relationship with him.
You know what? I just thought of a comic actually who does remind me of Joker. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say because we're on a stream, but
there was a guy on stage earlier tonight who was like. He laid out a description, long list of things describing the Joker, and he's like, kind of sounds like me.
Well, that's a funny joke.
No. But he wasn't altering his voice. That's just
who he was.
Just a weird guy.
There's a lot of Jokers out there, man. There's a lot of clowns.
Scary.
Well, that's what's scary about being a comedian, honestly. And I get why. And it's one of those things where it's like makes me empathize with woke culture, the fact that people want to create safer spaces in comedy. But I also see it as kind of like just a necessary evil for creating comedy because it's also one of those things that like that tension is part of the comedy. It's just some people have that tension at too high a level.
Right.
But you can't find those geniuses without because it's just like, yeah. Some people become jokers, but some people are able to figure out how to like, become a little more self-aware. People like you and I, we worry about being the Joker.
Yeah.
But we don't snap.
Well, and you're right. It's a little stupid. Totally irrational.
Like some of the comics you named, like you've told me, like they get upset when they don't have like great sets, and I'm just like, well, that happens. Like,
oh yeah, that happens.
Like it just if you're the kind of comic that thinks like just like you're amazing, and when people don't laugh, it's because like of some sort of like cosmic injustice, and yeah, you're kind of like unhinged.
Well, there are different reasons to get upset. Are you upset at the audience, or are you upset at yourself?
It seems to me like the ones who are close to the Joker upset the audience.
Right. I think that's true.
They're not looking at like, okay, well, what could I have done differently? They're more like, okay, this is just not fair.
Right. That's the Joker. And I can think of I envisioned a comic right when you were saying that.
Yeah, I envision comics, but I guess I also envision people I know. Because like I said, it reminded me of my mom in some ways. which I guess she would probably. I don't know. She'd probably be. But you know what's crazy? If she heard this.
Was she ever diagnosed with anything?
You know what? Crazy enough, she's never been diagnosed with any kind of like. If she's been diagnosed with any mental illness, I've never been told.
Huh.
But cause that's the thing. She's just normal enough to be seen, and she can operate in the real world. It's just the way she. You gotta meet her, dude.
I don't know what to make of this description.
Just someone who was gaslighted enough that they're like, unhinged.
What is gaslighting again?
Gaslighting means like convincing people that their grip on reality isn't like real. Like it's just like it's convincing someone like it would be if you were to convince me that these walls were pink instead of black. It's like, Erickson, I know you think they're black, but they're pink. Like everyone knows they're pink, and like everyone's telling me they're pink, and it's like you get everyone to convince me that like although I see black on the walls, these are pink walls. And then I start to doubt my ability to recognize black.
So this person is your mom doing that to everybody else?
My mom is always telling people what she thinks they want to hear.
Okay.
And she cannot, rarely is she ever expressing her own opinion. She's always saying like.
Oh, so she's just blending in.
All the time.
Your mom's the Joker.
Yeah. She's just, Mary. That's like, dude, she does that with people's names. The guy will be like, my name is Philip. He's like, oh, Philip. He's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and they'll correct her like once or twice, and then they just give up, and they become that person to her. Like, there's whatever. I guess that's just how she pronounces it.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know what to make of your mom.
I mean, you'd have to meet her, but most people who meet her say it explains a lot about.
Really?
Me. Yeah, they're like, oh my, okay, I get it. Like, that or they think I'm a terrible son.
I can't even picture this lady.
That or they think I'm a terrible, terrible son.
How long we been going?
We've been going 48 minutes. We can wrap this up.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to get to?
Oh shit. Whatever you do with that mic bottom, just move it a little bit. If you had to rate it from 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
The film?
Yeah. Would you have given a shit about it if it didn't have the controversy?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's.
No, I mean, like if it was just like, a Joker film came out. Like have you seen any other superhero movies?
No.
So
the idea of a superhero movie, I don't care about. I'm more. I like films for pretentious reasons most of the time.
Yeah.
It seems like an Oscar-nominated film. It's like a well-done.
Do you
film.
think Joaquin should get the Oscar for this one? Because I feel like it was a really good.
He could win something. Best lead. I don't know. Maybe.
I feel it was a really good performance, but I don't know if it's like.
Do they even give Oscars?
I will say this though. I
movies?
definitely think
Black Panther was nominated.
Yeah, I know. I would say if I had to pick between Joker or Black Panther, I'd pick Joker.
Yeah, that's a better film.
There we go.
I think a lot of people would. I think a lot of black people would actually.
Ooh, I think you're gonna get a lot of.
I think they're honest. I think they're honest black people.
I agree. I think there are honest black people
too.
I believe they exist.
They're somewhere. I don't know where they are.
Yeah, I know. Me neither. They're not on Twitter.
I've had a hard time finding them.
They are. Well, it's like
there were just two in here, and they were not honest. Completely disingenuous black people.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I think there are people who have good taste and would say this is definitely a superior film to Black Panther, just as a film.
Yeah.
And even then, it could have been much better with a different director, I think.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've been pretty satisfied with it and defending Todd Phillips for the last 24 hours. But you convinced me that you're right. I kind of
this
now see the
is
potential.
The art film of superhero movies.
You're right. You're
pick an art director.
Seeing the potential of it, of what it could have been.
Yeah.
Now you're actually making me really.
What if David Lynch did it? Dude, be cool.
Holy shit!
It'd be
I
mind
didn't
blowing.
know you knew so much about film. That's fucking. Yeah.
I like guys like that.
That would have been. I'll be honest. Actually, that
it could have been too much.
That might have left people. That would have.
I would have loved it.
Whew. That's dude.
Twin Peaks did really well, and that was mainstream. He could turn it into something kind of.
Well,
mainstream.
that's the thing. You can't tell Lynch what to do, though.
He'll do whatever he wants.
He's gonna do what he wants to do. The Joker might end up having Blueface.
That would be cool.
I know. It would have been fucking fascinating.
And it takes place in the 70s. That's an era that he has a handle on.
Honestly, I would have liked to see. But this is kind of fucking mainstream poser I am. I would have liked to see Fincher.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would
again a real fucking director. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Todd Phillips is
that's what's crazy about this film and why I asked about if you would want to see it without the controversy is that this film was made as a quick cash in, and they gave it a very low budget, and they kind of went about it as far as like making a film as
Like a real.
Well, they went about it as like, this is kind of like a throwaway. Let's see if it works. Like, they really didn't have a lot of faith in the
But
idea.
that's why they made it kind of a real film. If they had turned it into a high budget thing, everyone's flying around. That's a totally different movie.
Well, I think it was Todd's choice to be like, let's just like, since I'm getting a low independent budget, let's
Right.
make it like a low independent feature,
Right.
where it's got more artsiness to it rather than
which I thought was cool.
right. But he's not as technically savvy necessarily.
Yeah.
I love how it's just so hard for me to say shit like that about people who are actually successful and like are doing like a solid job, because there's so many people doing a
Well,
work
it should
job.
be harder for me to do it. I do it all the time. These people who are amazing. I'm like, that guy's.
Yeah, that guy's
It
garbage.
would have been so much. Like, fuck that guy. It would have been so much better with someone else, even though you know he's good.
Yeah, no, it was solid, but I totally agree. Like, if they had known what they were getting into, but that's the thing. I think what happened here is they were making a film that they almost made cynically, being like, we don't really care what you do with this film, and then it just got this ridiculous
But-
amount of hype behind it, and
Well,
now
you-
everyone's going to see
But
it.
you need to get a we don't care what you do with this film director. Todd Phillips isn't quite that guy.
Right, but he's cheap. He's probably cheap.
He's yeah, maybe for this.
Yeah, and honestly,
The Hangover made him a lot of money, man. I bet he's not that cheap.
It made him a lot of money, but does that grant you the right to
A
ask
bigger
for
contract later, probably.
a bigger, but like a big one, like Fincher money? Fincher money?
No, probably not a Fincher. But I think Lynch would have done it for the same price.
Yeah, but I'm sure I can't.
don't even know if he
I
would
just
do it,
can't
though.
even
He might not do it.
imagine Warner Brother producers wanting.
Paul
to even
Thomas
talk to
Anderson would
Lynch.
do it for the same price.
Paul Thomas Anderson,
And he would have done a great job.
Would have done it. Yes.
And I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, I know, but what I want.
And he's got the relationship with
what I
Joaquin
wanted to be in
Phoenix
that theater
already.
for another hour and a half is my question.
Oh, I would.
A 3-hour Joker movie
I think I could have
that
handled
takes
it.
you all the way from like when.
Well,
he
then
was,
they could have made maybe prolong the third act.
no, that could have been fascinating.
That would have been better.
I'll be honest. If that movie, as long as it had gone another half hour, showing me more Joker, I would have been fine. Because I was actually kind of being like, I kind of don't.
That's
want
where you're
to
going to end it? It seemed abrupt.
Yeah, it really did. Well, he's finally owning who he is, and I guess that is a catharsis. But for a Joker movie, especially when that's the most fascinating character,
Again, that's why there's going to be a sequel.
I feel like that. I feel there's gonna be a sequel too. I really do.
Yeah.
Because this is so far the only film that Warner Brothers has made in the superhero genre that's actually getting good reviews and making like shit money.
Right.
I mean, granted, they made it for shit money, but like it's actually getting money.
And it'll get nominated for some stuff.
If you do you go to Halloween parties?
No, not usually.
Good. I would be. This year I'd be terrified as a Halloween if I was at a Halloween party and someone walked in dressed as a Joker. That's
This
more
is a bad year.
right because it's just like, what are you trying to say?
Well, and that's the guy who's going to kill everybody.
Right,
at
that's
the
my
party.
point.
Yeah.
I'll be watching him like, has he got a gun on him? Is he?
Hopefully he's not dangerous. I don't give a shit what he's trying to say.
All he's got is a scissor.
yeah.
All he brings is a scissor with him. So okay, so one of us is dead. I'm staying away from that guy as far as possible.
Yeah. There was a guy who used to dress up like the Joker in
Does
Hollywood.
he still dress up as him?
I'm sure he's probably in hiding at this point.
I would be too if I were him. I would.
It's just a weird
Well, him in
coincidence.
hiding is him just cleaning his face and just like
Being
walking
a normal
around,
person,
Yeah, walking around his normal outfit.
I moved here 3 years ago, and he used to hang out right next to where I worked.
Oh,
I would
really?
go to the Coffee Bean, and he'd be at the Coffee Bean.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, this movie comes out. That is a little weird. I used to see that guy almost every fucking day. This guy who's dressed as the Joker.
I know. I remember he used to go to the next stage and do comedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I heard he went up at Hooters.
I was really curious if like after his movie
How
came
bad
out,
was
if
he?
he was I never saw him.
Okay.
Everyone told me he was okay.
Really
I mean, he plays the Joker.
weird.
I saw a kid dressed as the Joker the day after I saw it, walking down Melrose. He had like 3 friends surrounding him as like bodyguards.
It's weird. It makes me uncomfortable.
You know what's funny is I actually get the idea of wanting to dress as a Joker and like rile people up. It would be fun, but it's also something that I don't have enough bravery to do. Because you don't know what's going to happen to you.
Not in a million years would I think about doing that.
Yeah,
That would be insane.
I mean, we've learned from our limited experience together. I'm definitely the biggest troll compared to the two of us.
Yeah. I guess that is just trolling.
I like riling people up.
Yeah, I just like doing it behind everybody's back.
Yeah, you do. But hey, you know what? Honestly, that's better for your career because if I've noticed anything, like the people I gravitate towards are the people who do that behind people's back.
I will troll
and I
into
laugh.
the microphone though.
Right. Well, that's because it's funny.
Yeah.
But I'll troll everywhere. Like my whole entire,
Yeah.
entire life is just. That's why I used the Joker as promotional material for this office. I was like, that's the kind of like attitude I'm going for. It's like just someone who's gonna shake things up.
Well, you gonna wear the Joker outfit tomorrow?
It wouldn't work on me. I'm too short.
It'd be pretty hilarious if somebody showed up at 3:15 and you walked in wearing Joker makeup to host this mic.
That would actually be kind of funny because everyone would get very nervous.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, what was it? Why did he build this place?
Like there are 3 people waiting in the hallway, and you come in with the keys.
They'd have to be new people.
It'd be really
People
funny.
who know me would know there's nothing to worry about. But
Yeah,
people who
that's
didn't-
true.
But like newbies,
And you don't barely even talk to
actually
them.
now I know what I should do. I should go to Bert's back room dressed as the Joker.
Yes. That's genius. We should get a whole group.
Everyone's got clown masks on.
Yeah.
Just sits in the audience.
6 guys sign
stares silently as I do my whole set.
up. That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Just to sabotage the mic.
Well, just to make whoever's in that room hosting very, very nervous.
You are sabotaging the mic at that point.
I mean, yeah. I
Or you
guess.
get a Joker
I'm
to-
sabotaging that hour. You're not
Get a
sabotaging
different
the entire-
Joker to sit in on each hour of the mic.
Oh, that'd be even funnier.
Yeah.
Is every hour a different
new
person
Joker.
comes in dressed as the Joker for that mic and just does the material. Just does it.
Or whatever. They do whatever they're gonna do.
Right, but
But they're just sitting quietly in the Joker outfit and the makeup. It's perfect.
oh man, the things I'd do if I had more of pull.
Yeah, you have to have like slaves to pull that off.
Or just have like a huge following and money. If I had money, I could pay people $50 a person to do that. They'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
that'd be
on
a
Craigslist.
If like that, if I had like that, if I had like
That's
gas
actually
digital,
true.
If I had gas digital money, that's what I would be doing. I'd be like,
In this era, it'd be pretty easy to do that.
right? If we get a Patreon going and we're actually like getting like some funds here to do fucking silly shit, I would do stuff like that.
Well, if you filmed it, it would be great.
We'd have to get somebody to do that to film
Yeah.
it, but that would be possible. But granted, by the time we have enough money to do that, it'll be a whole new Joker that comes out.
Well, yeah, but we could do anything.
Yeah, no, we'll do stuff like that. Okay, we
All right.
got what we needed. I'll have to get this. This will be up forever. We'll have to do this again sometime.
All right.
Whoa.